built into. Shirin Akunja has only begun to clear out one side of the dungeon. An identical wing is believed to be buried alongside. More is buried beneath Istanbul. And a worsening traffic problem became the catalyst to discover it.
How are you, sir? Thank you very much.
Murat Öztürk is overseeing one of the world's most ambitious public transportation projects. The Marmara project adds over 200 miles of tunnels to Istanbul's underground. The end result will be the third largest metro system in Europe, and it's expected to ease the traffic congestion of the city by 40%. Öztürk shows us deep into the bowels of Istanbul's underground.
Building a world in which 7 or 8 million people at the same time can move around beneath the ground in Istanbul.
Digging without disturbing the past is difficult. It's important to dig deep. Some of the richest cultural layers left behind by the Byzantines and Ottomans are found 2 to 20 meters below street level, so the metro has to dig even deeper, to 22 meters or more. In addition, they used sonar to determine where artifacts were buried, and the path of the metro was mapped out accordingly.
But in a city like Istanbul, you can meet with something else, something different, every 10 meters below the surface. So we should be prepared to face any surprises.
And so if you do run into an antiquity, you just change directions?
If what we face is too massive, we might have to change our direction as well.
To avoid this, teams of up to 80 archaeologists work quickly to safely remove whatever they can.
When you talk about Istanbul, archaeologists are our partners. Archaeologists are the biggest supporters of our construction sites.
At the Yenikapi Metro dig site a few miles away, official digging hasn't begun, but archaeologists are working against the clock to remove one of the dig's greatest finds from the path of the metro.
Here, one half of the
Dr. Jamal Pollock from Texas A&M University was brought in to help.
And the main reason why I'm here is in one of their soundings, they stumbled on 2 shipwrecks. And I came here about 2 months ago, and since then, they've stumbled on 3 more. Wow. And maybe tomorrow we'll have another half a dozen.
Dr. Pollock is an underwater archaeologist specializing in ancient shipwrecks. Now, Yenikapi is over a quarter mile away from the sea, but was once part of the massive Byzantine harbour. 4 meters down and over 1,000 years back into Byzantine history is the 11th century sea level.
We're standing at the bottom of the late 10th, early 11th century Byzantine harbor floor.
Okay, so 1,000 years ago, we'd be swimming right now.
That's right.
A storm probably caused this 11th century merchant ship to sink to the bottom of the harbour. The large port side in front of us lodged into the harbour floor and was immediately covered by a protective layer of sand.
As soon as the ship sank, it was covered over, and even the people who lost the ship must have looked for it, and they lost it. But then over time, of course, the harbor silted in, and it became marshland. Then, of course, once the area dried up, it was used as an orchard or gardens, and then eventually the city took over from the 16th century onward, and then we have continuous habitation on top of the sea to the 21st century, and people living above it had no idea that this was once the sea and there are shipwrecks lying below them. And as a ship that's found right in the middle of the city, just by chance, only because they were constructing the metro, we have here before us perhaps a missing link between the earliest methods of shipbuilding and a method that we use today to build ships.
And this is just one of thousands, millions of artifacts, things. If we just dig underneath Istanbul, we'll find them.
That's right.
Amazing.
That's right.
Amazing.
27 centuries, 3 empires, 1 historic peninsula. The ground is saturated, and the tiniest opening might be an entrance into one of the many unexplored layers of the underworld of Istanbul. It's a constant guessing game for archaeologists, engineers, and architects that may never end.
Fast forward 2,000 years into the future to when this city begins expanding its metro. We're breaking ground for a new hotel. They begin digging a few feet beneath their modern layer and run into the 21st century. What will they find that we left behind?
you.